Meeting note, we're starting 12 minutes late, thanks to Brian. First up, we have on the agenda for tonight is the Palms Auditorium bid opening results, which happened yesterday afternoon. And I'm going to turn it over to Jim and Caitlin from KCBA.
Good evening, everybody. Happy to be back. As Alan said, we opened bids yesterday afternoon. So you're kind of seeing it off the press. We did put together a recommendation letter, which I believe everybody in the committee got a copy of. I'll just go over what we received and some of the decisions we need to make about it. So first of all, there were 3 contracts bid: general, HVAC, and electrical. So there's 3 separate contracts are going to be written for this project. We had fairly good turnout on the bids. We had 5 general construction bids, 4 HVAC bids, and 2 electrical bids. We'd like to see 3, so 2 is not great, but the GC and the mechanical turnout was very good, particularly for a relatively small construction project. Up here is the apparent low bidders and the amounts. So $1.6 million for the general construction. That came in pretty much right on where we expected it to be. The HVAC number is at 278. That was actually considerably lower than we thought it was going to be. And the electrical number, wind gap, is at $1.9 million, and that one was significantly higher than we thought it was going to be. So the net result is $3.8 million. Comparing that to the budget we presented a couple months ago, that puts us approximately $293,000 higher than that estimate. So we are a little bit higher than we had hoped, but it's not dramatically higher. Now, as you recall, last time we talked, we discussed having some alternates in here to adjust the costs. And these prices reflect basically all in. This is everything. And the alternates are there to take things out to reduce the cost. When we reduce the cost, there's consequences to that. But certainly the project stands, whether you accept none of the alternates or all the alternates. It's still a viable project. It's just how much stuff do you want in the auditorium, and how does that best meet your needs for dramatic performances and music performances. So I'll go through the alternates for you and give you some description of what they are. So general construction, there were 2 alternates. It's number 1 and number 7. Pull it up here. Our low bidder is in green. The first alternate is to delete the motorized hoist for the stage rating. So the design included motorized hoists, 5 units on the stage and 1 above the seating area, and that's to bring things down to the floor so that they're easy to adjust and change. It's primarily a safety issue and a functionality issue. Those hoists are fairly expensive, and so there's a credit if you take the alternate of $184,000. So that's a significant cost savings if you get rid of those. We would still keep the motorized hoist over the seats. That's in the base bid, but the 5 over the stage would go away. Again, this is right now you have a stage with basically dead hung equipment. The motorized is an improvement over that. It's great to have, but it's not absolutely necessary. So that's one you definitely might want to consider accepting that alternate.
So that's familiar. That's the lighting racks that would come up and down?
The lights, there's 3 rows of lights, and the motorized hoist allows you to bring the lights down to the floor, to change the bulbs, re-aim them, and then put them back up so that nobody's on a ladder. There's also 2 others for scenery as well.
Or the backdrops?
Yeah.
Now the backdrops balanced to their
We don't have it's not a fly rigging where there's a counterweight. It's really a dead hung system. But because you don't have a lot of height in this auditorium like you might have at the high school. It's basically dead hung and you can't fly things out of the way. We're using the motor to bring them down to the floor.
To bring down the top so you can get to.
Yeah, it's just, it's easy to adjust things without an adult or a student up on a ladder moving the light to get it in the right spot.
So if we don't get the motorized things, they're permanently
They're up,
located.
they're up high and you get on the ladder to make the adjustments.
And what are you putting up there? Just a backdrop?
A lot of times when you're gonna change them is for drama performances. You know, they'll have different scenes and they'll want the lights shining differently depending on
Okay,
how it's, but for music and anything like that, pretty much the setup's the setup. You don't change it. It's really drama that's gonna wanna adjust things a lot.
And did I understand you to say that there's also a set of those that would stay over the seating? Is that what you said?
There is a motorized, drop for the lights that are above the seating. That's in the base bid no matter what.
Okay.
Because that one, we absolutely don't think
Yeah.
it's safe to
To try to do that over
try to do that
seats.
over the seats.
Right, and that, there's only one of those?
There's only one of those.
Okay.
Right now, there's no theatrical lights out there.
Right.
We're adding those.
Oh, you're adding
and-
that, okay,
And it makes sense to keep that motorized hoist for that one. no
Right.
matter what.
So
gotcha.
there's still gonna be some on the side, or not?
There's, basically, we're doing
Like, we're talking
almost
about
all
the
the light.
spotlight.
There's some tormentors on the side. But the majority of the front of the stage is lit by a row of theatrical lights that are hanging from the ceiling in the auditorium. And that's on the motorized hoist part of the base bid.
So the ones over the stage, the lighting system over the stage, not the backdrops. How often, how tough is it to get up there and change them?
Gary, can you answer that question?
It would be a lot easier than it is currently at the high school with the genie lift to get up to the actual rigging above the audience right now, so.
Well, no, I'm not worried about.
Yeah,
Okay,
How
with
often
this-
do you do
the
it?
seating. I'm talking about the
above the
stage,
stage,
above
yeah,
the stage.
above the stage would be a lot easier than it is right now
So how often do you do that?
because it's LED lighting, so there's not gonna be as much changing. I'm also assuming you have scan lighting that's movable heads.
Yeah, it's really to adjust where you want the lights to
Right.
shine. They are all LED lights. You're not gonna be going up there to change bulbs like
Right.
you might be now. It's really to position the lights.
Yeah. I don't think it's a major deal for my guy to do that on a ladder or the genie lift.
I mean, you don't change them during the performances or do you?
No,
No, it's a preset. You preset it that
we set the
way.
lighting for the performance and then you're done.
Sounds like we can do without them.
Yeah.
Question for the audience? So is that just for equipment only, the savings?
That's the equipment only. I'll get to the electric component of that in a little bit, but the big item here is it's a significant savings if you accept the alternate. But you do lose that functionality. It's $184,000. That's.
And that removes all of them,
All five, yeah.
just over the stage,
What's that?
just over the stage.
Over the stage,
Correct.
yes.
Is that all right?
Yes.
Okay. Alternate 7 for the general contractor was for the auditorium seats, and we had our base bid seat is an upholstered seat with a wood arm, metal construction seat. We did talk to the manufacturer. What they recommended is to change the armrests to a plastic armrest. That's what you're seeing here. It's a savings of $9,200. It's a small change. That one's really up to you.
They're black
I don't
instead of
see-
brown, is that basically it? They're black plastic instead of
Yeah.
brown,
Yeah. It's,
wood,
you know,
I'm okay with that. They're a little more durable.
I don't know. The kids, if they want to get a penknife and start scratching it, they're going to scratch those or they're going to scratch the wood. It's similar.
But the wood you'd have to refinish and the scratches you just,
All those arms, you can replace them, either way. To me, this is really up to you guys. You could take it, you could not take it. I
so
don't,
what,
I don't know that performance makes much difference.
what's the colors of the seat?
The seats are, purple gray, yeah. It's got a couple colors in it, but it's mostly purple.
And the armrest is either a dark brown or a black.
Yeah, it would be, if we go to glass, it would be black.
And the wood color is variable.
Maple. It's just, there's a lot of maple in the room, like all the paneling is a light, maple. So the
Everything
armrests
around us.
match that.
Mhm.
If it went to black, it's,
I mean,
aesthetically, it's fine. It's no different.
I mean, if it's a white seat, it'll make a difference in the looks, but we're not talking about white fabric. We're talking about a pretty dark, similar to what's in the other end here.
Yeah. Yeah, sort of. Right. Maybe has a little more profile.
Any questions from the audience on?
What's the cost between plastic and the wood to replace it?
To replace,
So we have
Replace?
replace arms. What's the
I
price?
don't
Per
know.
unit price.
I don't know that, but there's several hundred seats and we're probably talking $20-$30 an armrest.
So is there only one manufacturer of seats for like
No,
auditorium?
we specified multiple manufacturers. And with public bid, we want to do it that way. The contractor has the choice of providing any of those that are in our spec. Once they're awarded the contract, they're going to tell us who the vendor is that they're working with. We suspect it's going to be Irwin, the one that we specified and did the drawings with, but it could be an equal seat vendor.
All right, so because when we were talking about throwing in alternatives and so forth, I don't recall it just being, well, you're gonna have a choice of armrest.
When we
And I'm
talked
just
to-
using this as
Yeah.
as a for instance, because I'm only seeing two options here under the general construction. And when it comes to the seats, it's only armrest. So I'm just trying to wrap my head around that.
When we talk to the vendors, the citation seat that we specify is the standard auditorium seat for this application. To go significantly cheaper, you're going to an all plastic back seat. And you're losing a lot of comfort and performance. And that we did not feel that was really in line with where you should be with the seats. You're taking a significant performance step down to go to a hard back seat. So we didn't think that was a viable option. I get the armrest isn't a big change. And this price that they're quoting us is what that low bidder, he probably got prices from multiple seating guys, and this is the lowest one of that competitive bid. Could be the citation seat, it could be a different manufacturer.
So my only concern here is that now I'm questioning with the other things that should be our call as to what seat we should use, especially when we're talking about these kind of numbers. So chances are we would go with your recommendation, but my understanding when we put this together is we wanted to try to have some options. And I was expecting, because we didn't talk about, well, it's just going to be armrest difference. I thought it was going to be, well, there's maybe going to be 3 different grades of seats, and what we expect was sort of the middle grade, at least was, my understanding from you on all the items. We're not specing the Cadillac, but we don't want the real low end. But this board trying to be fiscally responsible, at least I thought that we had presented that we wanted to have those options so that we could make that decision. And for instance, say, well, I'll take the armrest, for instance. Okay, there's $9,000 difference. These two options. Okay, we'll make that choice. I was thinking that we were going to have those same options. For instance, with these chairs that you're saying, well, we chose the one that are fabric and so forth. It's really what's best application, for this as opposed to the plastic. Off the cuff, I totally agree with you, and I'd rather things be more comfortable and so forth. But I don't have anything to go off of. I don't know what those numbers look like. I don't really know anything other than you're saying, well, we really felt this is what was best for you, so this is what we did. So that was not the understanding that I thought we were moving forward with. I'm just one person, but that's just my thought as I'm taking a look at armrests and only having two options under the general construction.
I thought the chair you went with was like a mid option. Right?
I think
So
that's what you said, right?
So, the next one down would be a pure plastic. Or,
Like what's there except for the armrest.
Well, I don't
Yeah.
know. That's my point,
Yeah.
is I don't know because I don't have that as an option in front of me. And I also know that I'm not in the business of selling tickets and trying to make my auditorium be as comfortable as possible because I want to drive people into my business and make them, hang out and buy repeat tickets. So those are just the things, I've got to be paying attention and looking at what's the best from a financial position for our taxpayers and be able to justify it. And quite frankly, if for me to be able to say, well, we had an option and it was $9,000 to get wood armrests or plastic, that doesn't make me feel very confident that I'm doing the best that I can for the taxpayers. And like I said, then it starts to make me question about, everything else on here, because once again, under general construction, I only have two options out of, $1.7 million. Anyway, that's just, we're here. I don't want to belabor this, keep going, but I wanted to give you my, my thoughts. So I don't think we're at a point right now where we're making any decisions for moving forward. Correct me if I'm
No, I think we are.
wrong.
If you want to get started in a month, we are.
I don't know if I want to get started in a month, to be honest with you, but that's just me. So.
Okay. Let's go to the mechanical. Mechanical has two alternates. The mechanical package is very simple and straightforward. We are replacing the mechanical units on the mezzanine with a similar unit. So from an HVAC point of view, it's a very straightforward project. We had two alternates to control the manufacturer. JCI York is the basis of design, and that was the preferred manufacturer from the district. The two alternates add cost if you went to Crane or you went to Carrier. So talking with Alan, neither of these made any sense to accept. We would stick with the base bid JCI York and have the units that the district prefers. Any questions on that?
This is a question for Alice. The specified units are there. Are they adequate when the auditorium is full of people?
Yes.
Okay, that's all I need to know. And it's repairable and it's compatible with our control systems.
Yes, there'll be new control systems on there.
Okay, the electrical bid. There are 6 alternates in the electric bid. Number 1 is the same as number 1 for the general contractor. This is the electrical portion. This is a quirk in bidding that happens once in a while. Our apparent little bidder, WinGap, actually said it's $24,000 more to delete work. I think they made a mathematical error in their bid form, but that is what they wrote. My recommendation, if you're gonna accept alternate one for the GC, you do not accept the alternate one for the EC, which you're allowed to do. Basically, you're telling the electrical contractor, wire it all as if it's there. We can put it in later. To actually delete it, you actually would cost you more money. We can't really go to them and have them change their number. That's illegal. We have to live with the number they gave us. So ideally, that would have been a negative. We get some more money back, but that's not the way the bid came in. So right now, we're looking at the $184,000 credit if we do alternate one. Okay, alternate two, reduce the number of wireless microphones. There's a credit of $22,400. This does reduce your functionality, number of mics that you can have for performance. This is really a use functional issue. And that's gonna really be up to the district and ultimately the board. If that's a cost you want to save.
Gary, what are your thoughts on that?
Yeah, do I need to hear from Gary?
How many mics were in there to begin with?
There's 24 in the base bid.
24, taking it to 16.
Yeah.
We already have a portable rack over here for wireless mics that we can always take over there if we need extra mics. I mean, that's an option, I would think.
So,
I mean, that's
So-
why that extra rack was purchased for this building, was so that we could take it over to the middle school if we needed extra mics over there.
so as far as this alternate is concerned, it's, when
And
you say it's removing so many mics, it's not the individual mics, but it has to do with the capacity of the,
no, I think the backbone is still there for the 24
Backbone's the
mics.
same?
It's
Yeah,
that
the
you're-
mixer's still there for the mics, but it's just,
So
you're
they could be-
reducing the
they could
amount
be
of
purchased
wireless
later.
mics. Yeah, you can always purchase wireless
Need-
mics later too.
Yeah.
The backbone of the system is built for the 24.
okay, that was
Okay.
that was where I was headed.
Number three, to remove the backstage control panel. So there's the main control panel in the room, and there's other control panels. This is a convenience panel on the stage itself. So that during a performance, there can be an interface by stage manager on the stage. It's not necessary. You don't have one now. If you got rid of that, you would save $15,700. Again, this is a nice to have. It adds some functionality to the room, but ultimately you don't necessarily need it. It's just a nice.
Is that just for communications between the,
And the control of the theatrical and sound.
So was,
Okay.
for, other than
Yeah.
performances,
I mean, we don't
you
have it
know,
now, so.
classroom
Right. And
stuff
it's
or,
the
And it's not like somebody's not gonna be running the sound from the back
Right.
okay, that's what I'm questioning.
and lights. I don't feel it's necessary, but
Your, your opinion means a lot to me.
Okay. Number four, remove the portable scenic projection infrastructure. So there is a separate projector on the stage that lights the cyclorama in the back, so you could project onto that images, movies, whatever. This is to delete that. It would be a savings of $8,400. Just so we're clear, there's a main projector that's in the back of the auditorium that hits the screen at the front. That's always in the bid. This is a secondary system just for dramatic performances to give you more functionality with
So it's,
the back wall.
so instead of having
Instead of a
different
static,
scenes in the
creates a
background,
static background, you could have an active background during a performance.
so they've rented that already. I think for the last few productions, I wouldn't remove that, I don't think. Because what they do is they project the scenes onto the back wall
mhm.
for their plays, the musicals.
Then we wouldn't have to rent it.
Yeah, otherwise we have to rent it. Which I don't, think makes sense.
Sounds like it would be used.
Number 5 is to remove the portable console interface rack. So there's a podium that has connectivity to this sound and lighting system. So that podium can be placed anywhere on the stage, anywhere in the orchestra pit, pretty much anywhere in the room. The presenter can interact with the sound system and the lighting system from the podium. So this alternate would be to get rid of that, and you would run everything from the main console. That's a savings of $8,500. The console, the podium gives you a lot of flexibility within the room. If you're having guest presenters in, they can control video projection, the sound system right from where they're interacting. So again, this one's, you don't need it, but it's a nice to have.
Yes, that would, administrative wise, this would not necessarily be for production, but for other uses of the auditorium.
Presentations. Be for presentations, plus also it would allow people who are non-technical to control things right from the podium, rather than having to
You'd
pay
have to have somebody.
somebody
up in the back.
overtime, like if it's a night presentation or whatever, to control things from the stage.
Is that something we would use?
I think we would. I feel we would use it.
You want to keep that?
Okay,
I mean, it's up to you guys.
grand.
Last one is number 6, remove the show monitoring intercom system in the music and music practice rooms. So across from the hallway from the auditorium, some music rooms, we have an interface in there so that they can see and communicate from those rooms and see what's going on in the auditorium. And it's really there, like if you use the band room as a green room and you're trying to queue up everybody coming at the right time. That system's would be a credit of $15,700. This again is a really nice luxury. Don't need it. This is the one we identified pretty early on. Like, hey, this is a system you don't necessarily need, but let's see what the cost comes in.
You don't have it now, right?
I don't think we need it.
Yeah.
Okay,
I mean, we do wireless headsets at the high school for that kind of person.
So just for us looking at this, if we put the EC 2, 3, and 6, and we took the GC 1, the cost comes to $3,630,000, and that puts us about $55,000 over budget. So it brings us all much closer to where we were hoping to be. Certainly, you could take a couple more of those and bring it even a little closer. Based on the conversation I heard, you know, what the list you're talking about makes sense to me.
Any other questions from the committee? The public, any questions or comments?
Yeah, I'd like to circle back on your electrical contractor. So electrical contractor, you said it was a fork that, if we were to make any of these changes, he'd actually bill us an extra 24,000. So we're gonna put this back out to bid then for another electrical contractor?
I don't recommend you do that. We're on a fairly tight schedule. The goal was to give a notice to proceed July 1st. We're hoping that the board can have a motion to approve these bidders next week, the 6th. Sorry, the 3rd. Sorry, June 3rd.
Yeah.
Because there's contracts have to be written. We want to get them set up. The construction cycle is from July to the end of the year. If we go out to bid, that's at least another month. We're now pushing our construction into the spring, into next year. We can certainly do that. I just don't, I don't know that you're gonna get, you might get that solved, but you also could get a worse result. They don't have to give you the same number the second time.
But because of the short notice or short time frame, wouldn't that be a premium on top of the electrical based on what you told us that we came way over on that electrical bid? I mean, just from my own background experience, when we have a tight deadline and you have to use the contractor and you want to get a job moving, you will pay premium dollar because you do not have enough time to vet contractors for what you're trying to do. Now, are we in a hurry to do this project or do we do a POSIX like we've been discussing for a year on it until we decide exactly where we want to go? We have a couple of answers to some questions that we still need on furnishings or whatever, but it seems like we're really, really rushing this project here. We're going to be wind up paying significantly because of we're rushed.
I'd also question, and maybe you've made the adjustments in the numbers there. We looked at with the general contract bids, if they take out those hoist things, did that get calculated into that new number?
Yes.
That was in, okay, that was
Yes.
included in,
It's at that 1.478. That's the
oh,
reduced
that's from
number.
that page.
Yeah, it was
From the first page, okay.
1,663,000. So that
Right.
comes down that amount.
Okay.
In fact, the one, you said you had two electrical bids, with the other one really like black.
The other one was $202,000 higher. $222,000 higher.
Personally, I don't want to wait another year because I think costs will just keep going up.
I don't know that we're pushing it that much. I mean, we allowed enough time to get the bids out. And we knew we either do it this summer or start on it this summer, or we wait a year. I can't see that it's gonna make much difference the way things are going.
When you typically, because you do this a lot for a lot of schools, when you typically put something like this out to bid, what would you say is normal to get, bids, say for electrical and the other aspects?
Just so I understand, you're asking normal about the amount of time we gave the bidders, or?
So normal, if you do 10 of these projects.
Yeah.
What do you think the average number of electrical quotes, general construction and mechanical construction would you expect to get?
The results that you got, number of bidders here, is very good for this size project. Like I said at the beginning, I would have liked to have seen one or two more electrical bids so that to be more competitive. The other two, great number of bids, close numbers. The GC numbers are very tight, which means they were competitive when they bid it. We had this on the street for 4 weeks, which is the standard, certainly enough time for all the bidders to take a look at this and sharpen their pencil. When I said we're rushing, it's like the rush is we need to get construction started. We're not rushing the contractor to give us the number or to perform the work. It's just we're saying, hey, we have a timeline where we have a window where we want this work done. And my caution to you was if you change that, it moves that timeline.
So in the RFP, that was part of that, this has got to get done between these months.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah, we told them that the construction schedule in the bidding documents, and when they provide a number, they're agreeing to meet that schedule. We had no questions about the schedule during bidding. The only issue we had during bidding was we pushed the bid due date back another 5 days to make sure we got electrical bidders. WindGap probably was not going to bid if we had held it back where it was. We moved that to make sure we got a bid from them.
Well, I have to say that I echo Director Ramos's, comments. I get a little bit concerned that the fact that this was on such, and this could be based entirely wrong. So let me just state that this is not what I do for a living or anything else, but I get concerned that because this was such a tight time frame, and if I have a large company doing this kind of work, I would think I'm already booked 6 months, maybe even 12 months out. So if all of a sudden I see a bid coming up where I not only have to bid, but I have to be able to start the work within, what are we asking for? Really, 2 months? I can see where that might have eliminated people from bidding on this project. Maybe I'm completely wrong. That's just my thought. And so not only eliminating people that might have bid, but then the possibility of, well, we can make it happen, but it's going to be a premium. So I am a little bit concerned with this. However, I also know that auditorium is rough. It's been rough for a while. And, I definitely would love to see this fixed for our students in our community, we're actually talking about the end of next school year, but this is also a lot of money. So personally, I'm sort of on the fence with this right now. Any other thoughts from the committee or?
If they gave the contractors 4 weeks, you put it out for bid in beginning of March?
April.
Beginning of April?
They had
But
they had sufficient time. If we were bidding a $80 million school project, it would be 4 weeks, maybe 5. Like that's a normal period of time for public bid contractors to get their number together.
Yeah, and that's not my concern. My concern is the timeline to start the project. That's where my concern is, because I know with contractors that I deal with and I hear about, now granted on a much smaller scale, but many that I speak with, they're booked up through the end of the year. So,
the contractors that are booked up through the end of the year didn't bid this.
right, that's my
Would
concern.
they have bid it
But
if
they
we-
might be booked no matter when you bid it, there's always going to
Yeah.
be contractors that their schedule's booked and some that
Yeah.
aren't. You would get, if you bid this next January, you might see different bidders, but these guys might be booked. So that's really hard to predict. Like,
Mhm.
But if this
who
was
you're gonna
bid,
get.
let's say to start January 1st of 2027, you don't feel as though having that longer time frame might get us additional bids?
It might get you additional bids. It might get you a higher price because they're going to
Yeah.
speculate, I'm not starting for another
Right.
8 months.
Right.
And when I have to buy this equipment, it's going to be 10%
Yeah, the
more.
materials are gonna be more, yeah,
So
yeah.
there's
yeah, they can't bid out that.
I wish
way.
I had a crystal ball on the bidding contractors and how they look at this. They don't really tell us too much about how they figure it out. But there's so many variables that come into play for them to bid a project. You can change the timeline, you can change when you do it, and you change some of the variables and, you get different results.
Okay.
Maybe not better. It all depends.
This one is a tough one, because I do agree with Director Ramos in that this is a big ticket item. We are trying to tighten up a budget, but I've heard you say it's already in our numbers, and again, I feel like this was something that was started prior to my being on the board. And the longer we push this down the road, that number keeps increasing. So if we want to put a hold on that number, because with bidding generally, the guys that bid are only going to say, this is only going to be, 30 days. I can't guarantee you any prices, farther than that. So if we are concerned about that, I go back to, I want to understand why it wouldn't be something to consider if we need to take out a bond to cover that, if we're concerned about it going into,
Well, I think that's
Our
a second,
savings.
I think that's a secondary
see,
conversation.
and that's what you've said before. So to me, that's the only solution to this. So if that has to be a separate item, I don't know when that gets discussed, but I think for the sake of these folks and what they're doing, then I think it just makes sense to start. I don't know.
All right, well, I will reiterate that I'm a little bit concerned that under the general construction, there's only two options. And, you know, I don't want to get held up over these seats, but we talked a lot about that, and that's a sore spot. I'm gonna be honest with you. I think you already figured that out, that we don't have more options there, that we've got $9,000 in armrests, as opposed to having the price for plastic seats versus fabric seats versus, I don't know, leather seats or whatever the top one was. I don't see where that would have been hard to have that in the RFP. And then we could have just, you know, there wouldn't be any question about it. But,
We haven't gone out for a bond in quite some time. I mean, it's been a long time. So, Chris, I don't mean to put you on the spot, but I'm just gonna ask if you have a general idea, concept of how long, if the board decided to go out for a bond for this project or a roof project or something else, like what is the lead time for that? Or what's the scope of?
So the first step would be to do a reimbursement resolution. A reimbursement resolution written by bond counsel would allow the district to expend funds out of the general fund and then be reimbursed.
Okay.
That's like step one.
Okay.
That's pretty quick. Once we contact bond counsel and give them the details of what will be in the bond, that would shape that resolution. 2 months
To actually float the bonds.
to actually close the bonds, 2 months, 3 months to close on the bonds.
I think this is the wrong time to be going out for bonds. I think we can do better once things settle down worldwide.
yeah, but I don't think that's something we need to decide here at this, you know, at this I mean, I think it should be discussed, but I think that goes to fiscal. And that is huge. The fact that, well, we can pay for it out of the out of our budget and then reimburse. So that doesn't hold this up. It's not like we have to know, well, we have to know whether we're doing the bond or not to even proceed and move forward. So thank you, very much for that, Chris. So I just don't want to get diluted under what this committee should be looking at. And that's
Right now. Sure.
what's in front of
Because
us
this.
here. Do we move forward and with what alternatives, we have here? So.
I'm okay with the alternates, 3.6.
The 3.7575. With
DC
the,
1, DC 2, 3, and 6. But DC 2, 3, and 6. And DC 1, that's what I had to get that number.
And that's the 3.6 through 6.7. Oh,
so you did or did not add the armrests in there? You're saying G, C,
$8,500 out.
1, did you add 7?
We had 7.
I mean, we didn't care, did we, about that? They could be plastic.
One's as hard as the other.
Yeah.
So that's
Yeah.
GC 1 and
1,
7,
7, yeah.
and EC
2, 3,
2, 3, and
6.
6. Okay. And that gives us that total 3,621, and we're 46,000 high.
And we can take that out of the architect.
What would you, what is your guess that cost of the seat difference was between the mid-grade and the low grade?
probably $30 a seat. The primary reason we didn't pursue it is because it really doesn't meet the functionality that you need in the room. We provided 8 alternates that really were things we thought you could legitimately do without and still have a good viable project. These alternates, reduce the cost up to 10 or more %. So we have a pretty good adjustment on it. The seats just didn't come to one that we thought, going to such a cheaper seat wasn't going to be in your best interest. And I apologize. I understand you wanted to see that.
Well, I was hoping to see a lot more things, but at the very least, the seats were something that we talked quite a lot about. So the fact to only get armrests just, is concerning. What's the functionality that you're talking about that we don't get? I mean, is it comfort? Is that
Acoustics of the room.
That's one, but the
okay? Well, that's
acoustics-
why I was
Yeah.
waiting. I'm really trying here to
the
get it.
acoustics-
So
Acoustics is the bigger part of it.
Yeah.
Certainly, they're more comfortable and that's important for your guests, but the acoustics with the upholstered seats, the room is designed and balanced with those upholstered seats. And the upholstered seats act just like if the audience it's a full audience. So that when somebody's setting up the sound system for a performance, they can set the room and hear it because of the fabric on the seats, and it's going to sound that way when the room's full, just as it is empty. Whereas if you have the plastic back seats, you set up the sound system to perform a certain way, and then when the performance goes on, it's muddy and dull because it was adjusted for all this reflectivity that's on the seats that no longer is there when they're full of people. So it really helps you maximize your acoustic performance in the room so you can set up the sound system so everything's balanced and sounds right, and the comfort issue.
okay.
And you said it's probably about $30 a seat less. There's about 300 seats,
406.
406. So you're talking about 12,000.
It's significant, yeah, it's a significant amount of money. But now, if this is a lingering problem for you guys, we can always go back to award our contract, go to the contractor and say, you know what, we want to change those seats to XYZ seats and get a price from them. Like we can do a change order and change the seats, right? You're not absolutely locked into that as a component. Like if this is something you guys really want to keep pursuing, we'll have a contractor on board, we'll have a seating vendor on board. It's like, hey, we want a less expensive seat. What price can you give us? That's within your bounds. The only consequence there is it's probably not the same competitive price you're going to get if you bid it, but you'll definitely could reduce the cost of the seats during construction.
Thanks for giving us that as an option. Well, to keep things moving forward, I'm looking for, unless there's any other comments, I'm looking for, consensus. Are we recommending to move this forward with those alternates removed to the full board then?
Yes.
I'm the alternate.
Well, I'm still,
Well,
you're yes? All right, yeah. Well, you don't get to tell us, but yeah.
I just want to make a quick comment. I am in the industry per se, and my crystal ball in reference to electronics, cost of copper, and general construction is not going to get any cheaper. Yes, you'll have different people bidding, but I can tell you it's right now, the contractors that are out there are busy. They're looking for the good job, and there's some good jobs out there to be had. So it is absolutely throw the dice of whose schedule is available. I know in the work that I do, I have people begging me to do work for them. And this would be considered small business. Now, $3 million is a lot to you, but in reference to a contract, John, and, you know, tying this on it, just be aware of it, that I'm not gonna probably get a better deal. If I get something equal, but that's gonna get a better deal, be pushed out.
Thank you. Okay, thank you. Thank you for that. All right, I guess we're moving forward.
So I have as the recommendation, move the bidders with alternates to the full board for consideration at the June 3rd board meeting. And then I had another recommendation, which was to discuss the bond process at the next fiscal meeting and potential projects.
I think that's correct.
Yeah,
Yep, thank you.
Thank you very much.
yeah, thank you.
Visitor aware.
Visitor aware. So we've been having nothing but problems with Raptor this year between the badge printers failing on us, the license scanners failing on us. The license scanners come in at around $700 a pop. We've had to replace maybe 3 of them this year, I believe, Al.
3. Yep.
And then printers are $250 a pop. Those, we probably had to replace maybe 3 or 4 of those this year. We started to go out and look at other vendors, and we looked at 3 other systems. Visitor Aware came out on top, just simply because of how easy it is to use for the secretaries and how easy it is to use for the visitors coming into the schools. It does all the same checks for background checks for visitors coming into the school. Instead of a license scanner that you drop your license into, it scans your license on the back camera of an iPad that's set up as a kiosk. It also scans your face so that when you come in to the building and check out, you can just scan your face to check out of the building, and it automatically uploads your information into the system. We've been piloting it here for 2 weeks now at the high school. Secretaries absolutely love it. We can also use it to check in late arrivals for students. We can also use it to check in IU staff who roam between buildings. So it eliminates a lot of different devices at the front desk counters that we're currently using. We're currently using Chromebooks to check in IU staff. We're currently using a Chromebook to check in students. This will be a one-stop shop for everything. So we're looking to move forward with this 3-year agreement. It's about $200 more expensive per year than Raptor was, but it has a lot more functionality than Raptor ever had.
And a lot less equipment.
A lot less equipment. You can actually check it out in the lobby if you want to check it out on your way out, but
I'm fine.
There's some comments, okay? Anything? Yes.
Do people have an option to opt out of the biometrics?
yes, they can.
And is it gonna be displayed where they can, like they do when you do TSA, you have the option to opt out?
Yeah, it's on the screen. This is like a link that you can, or a button you
No,
can
no,
click.
no, when someone comes in, because when you go to TSA, if you don't tell them, you'll automatically get scanned with or without your.
Oh, no, you have to actually click a button to take your picture.
Oh.
Yeah.
Great, thank you.
Same with checking out.
All right, let's move forward.
Okay, next item we have up is the tennis court repairs. Looking at a short-term repair to get us through to make a decision on what we want to do in the future as far as, pull out the 50-year warranty, which is going to probably be the most expensive. I did get a few different prices. So AstroTurf, who did the original repair on the tennis court, they came in at $43,685, and that's almost like a complete overhaul of all the crack systems. On the other hand, pavement maintenance, which would get us through a year or two, would make that decision. They came in at $6,300, which is more or less a caulking, but it's good. And then they put a coating over top of everything, but it would get us through, 2 years or whatever yeah. So obviously there's a big difference between there. The AstroTurf is a longer repair, I believe. What's on there now, I believe, is 5 years. We're going on like 5 years, maybe even 6 years now since that was done. So
Hey, AstroTurf did that one.
Yes, back then it was, it was,
Well, that 40 grand is a resurfacing from the whole area, right?
just the crack area, basically take everything out, redo the whole thing and then recoat everything.
The whole court.
No, no, no. You're looking at more or less, I don't have that in front of me right now, but remember we had the different options on, the 50-year.
50, 50?
Yeah, but that was kind of like concrete.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, I thought we
That
had
was-
some prices and then we were,
Well, those
we were
prices-
getting something that was more permanent or.
That's what I'm
longer
looking at,
lasting.
yeah. I
Okay.
just meant to get us through another season or two
Right, that's the
seasons.
6,300,
Yes,
right? But,
It's also. the
but I thought there was
40 grand.
something
40
else. I guess
grand,
I'm
yeah.
wrong. I thought that, yeah, I'd have to go back to look at the notes from the last couple
Yeah,
meetings.
there was
but-
one where you were talking about digging down to
yes.
repair the base.
Yeah,
And the
That's
other,
not the
a
40.
classic court concrete
the
over
classic,
top, 50-year warranty for future.
yes, that goes over the
That's
top.
the
That's
future.
basically a
Yeah.
concrete, reinforced system over the whole
Yeah.
court.
Yeah.
Okay, so basically you're going over top of the cracks that are there now, is supposedly guaranteed for 50 years.
And how much is that?
Don't have a number on that.
Yeah,
That's
That's
that
what
was not-
that's what I'm working on, like,
That is not the
we're-
40,000.
where this committee wants me to go. Do you want me to go looking at all our options for a permanent solution?
I know we've talked about this before last time, and it was cost prohibitive. It seemed at that time that it was like, we're just gonna repair it, because to fix it, you're sitting on shifting earth.
Yeah,
So it's not either move it, but you're digging down, what is it, 6 feet you're gonna need to dig down, and it's not guaranteed if it was shifting. That was the conversation we had last time. So that was sort of like, let's keep repairing it, but if we wanted, try to do the more extensive repair, it is,
well, I don't
Yeah.
think that's anything we want to be looking at now. Anyway, so you're saying you're looking at this for like that 5-year project kind of thing?
Yes.
to repair
that's
to last
ju-
that long.
Right.
Yes.
So you had Keystone Sports and Sports Field Specialty, according to my notes from last time.
Yes, sports fields, specialties turned me down. They would not,
Oh, they
they
wouldn't
would
even
not
do it.
go over top of someone else's work. This new one is pavement maintenance services.
Pavement,
They're right out of Bethlehem.
And they would
pavement maintenance.
Scratch out the cracks and
Scratch
So-
everything out this, yeah, scratch, and then put the coat. The color's not gonna match. It's purple right now, but it's been sun faded for,
so
50.
would the court have a stripe in it? Or will it
It
match
does now.
over the whole court?
It does now,
Oh, it does now?
but now it just has stripes with big cracks in it.
So what was the number that the pavement maintenance place gave you?
$6,300,
And what's the 40,000?
43,000, that's AstroTurf. That's, like I said, they take everything out, pressure wash everything out, redo their system, which is, it's called rubber tan, I'm sorry, lacloid, kind of like a super,
Super glue?
super, caulking method. And then they put two coatings over top of that, and then they put the top coat, colored top coat on that.
And
almost
what's
like
the warranty on that?
Yeah,
I'll be honest with you, Scott, I don't think they give you a warranty.
no, but looking at those differences, Scott, I mean, 6,000 to 43.
Quite a lot of difference, but
Mm,
6,000.
Even at 5 years.
Yeah,
if
hold
we
up.
have to get them
They're,
back
but
every
that
couple of
temporary
years.
is like 2 years.
Well, that's what I mean. Even if
Yeah.
we'd have to get them back in 2 years though, that would still be more
With 1
cost
year.
effective than going with 43. If they're saying that one would be maybe 5 years.
Oh, yeah, but I don't think we had a timeline on the 43,000. You just said if they're not really giving you a warranty.
Correct.
I just,
Oh, I thought the AstroTurf one was like 5 years.
I'm just saying the last repair we had with this system it was like 5 years.
Like
it was 5 years ago for about 40,000,
Yeah.
whatever. It might have been less or whatever then,
Yeah.
so.
It
Yeah,
was,
so that doesn't make sense.
yeah, it was
Yeah.
Nagel Sports at that time.
Mhm.
which was bought out by AstroTurf.
Okay.
Yeah, I mean, this seems to make the most sense. I always like to have all my numbers, so that we can make, because the tennis courts probably aren't moving, right? They're gonna, well, I mean, they are moving, that's the problem. But what I mean is,
Not
you
in the right
know,
direction.
yeah, 10 years from now, we're still gonna have courts in that spot. 20 years from now, we're probably still gonna have courts in that spot. So I would just like to be fiscally responsible and not every 2 years spending $100, which of course only goes up. If it was okay for 60,000, let's just say, hey, we're gonna dig down, we're gonna, redo everything, and now you're gonna have a bomb-proof tennis court. That's the only thing that I like to try to take a look at, but it seems like with the numbers here, if the 43,000 isn't gonna really give you a warranty, or at best from previous experience, maybe get 5 years, then yes, the temporary, seems the way to go right now.
Temporary fix, but get the numbers for the dig down and,
Well, it'd be nice to have the
Yeah.
numbers, but if we already are moving forward with this,
Yeah.
those numbers are gonna change in 2 years.
right,
So-
but it'll give us an
Well-
idea.
Yeah, and somewhere it should probably be thrown on that 5-year project list, but
Mhm.
I mean, we've got a lot of unknowns coming up in the next year or so, so it just doesn't make sense to do that now.
All right, so committee, well,
How's that for
anybody else
direction
from
now?
the public on this? All right, so we'll
Move
committees
forward on
move
the
forward with the temporary
6.
fix at 6,300.
And that gives a 2-year warranty, right?
There's
Well,
no warranty.
no
No
warranty.
No,
warranties.
that's probably my estimate, because it's not like well, it's a caulking
Yeah,
system and stuff
okay.
that they're gonna do. Is you can guarantee that it doesn't move anymore, maybe.
The only way you can do
And
that
that
is
would
to
be
make a
ready for the fall
great big,
tennis season.
huge
Right, that would be
slab
done
that's
over the
gonna float
summer,
on
so.
it.
we're ready
Yeah.
for
That's
August.
a lot.
That's a lot. That's
Mhm.
big fix. 'Cause how much did we spend last time, like 5 years ago?
It was in the 30 grand.
It was like
range.
30s,
Yeah,
I'd have to look it up. I think it's something like 35,000, I believe.
yeah, just probably the
And it
40
lasted
some
4
now,
years,
Yeah.
3 years.
so, yeah.
Okay, informational.
Move on. All right. Next items are up, it's right, excuse me. In informational, start with building use study update.
Yeah, sorry about that. Still, okay, so we had a meeting with KCBA and the firm that they're working with to do the demographic study. So the work is currently underway. Our principals have taken a look at the maps of their building and identified how the space is currently used. So KCBA has a better idea about that. They're also, taking a look at the physical structures. We talked about the energy costs at our last board meeting, that those will be included in that presentation as well. I've been providing information to KCBA. I'm trying to think of the company the subset that's doing the demographic study, but they've seen all of our previous presentations, and also data that I shared with you regarding, where our students are, number of homeschool students, charter school students, students that go to other private or parochial schools. We would expect that this committee is the first one to see their work in August, and questions will be asked and answered. And if there are things that you need more information about, they'll go back and do that work, with the idea of having a full presentation for the public. This is obviously a public meeting, but more of a final presentation in September.
That's good. Yep. Okay. All right. The stadium turf field study. Good news for change. They did GMAC study on the field. It's in very good condition for its age, which is 12 years old right now. They're 14. They are going to come out. That this is also AstroTurf. They're going to come out and do a free complimentary deep grooming. There are areas that need more rubber, and we have a lot of rubber left over from when it was put in 12 years ago. So that's some good news. They estimated we could probably get another 8 years out of it or more. Great. So we
Yeah.
need to maintain it.
That's above their original estimate.
The fibers are in good shape. Like I said, it's, you know, there's compacted in areas, and from play, there's a lot of areas which, you know, get used a lot for free kicks and things like that, corner kicks, and they need more of the rubber and stuff put in, so. But they're gonna do that complimentary, so we'll take it.
We're original, we did it 12 years ago, we got a
It was
20-year warranty,
called,
50.
what's that?
What kind of warranty did we get? When we redid it.
10 years.
we're
So we're
past
2
the
years
warranty,
over the warranty, yeah.
And they're still gonna do a count.
It's great. Don't tell them we made a decision on the tennis court.
Yeah, yeah.
Okay. Next item I have up is a baseball backstop for middle school. Still getting quotes on that. It's really hard getting contractors. Well, the new thing today, instead of chain link, is the netting. And they're just not, to me, I mean, I see what happened at Quakertown, and, you know, the nets they put up don't really hold the balls from going out on the field or over to the neighbors. So
Oh, my.
I have two now, that's relatively close. I don't have it in front of me, but. Okay, next item is a senior parking lot paint overs. Rich Heffernan wanted me to, let you know, because we gave permission for the seniors to paint their parking spots. They painted over, I think 6 of them, and there's a few more to go. They ran out of paint. So they're getting more paint, tomorrow after graduation practice. They're
Yeah.
going to paint the rest of them.
And the students I was talking with just loved the project, and they sort of got to a later start only because they, you know, came here and asked permission and sort of had their whole game plan. But certainly our juniors are looking forward to being able to paint their spaces, and I'm sure there'll be a lot more if they're able to do it before school starts. So
So you're gonna withhold their diplomas if they don't get it done, right?
Yeah, I've been watching. I drive by and I'm like, hey, Rich, there's still a couple that haven't been painted over. He's like, we ran out of paint. But they did a great job, and they did everything they said they would do, and it certainly brightened up the parking lot.
Great.
Do you mind if I have one that I wanted to share, but you're gonna do summer projects? Go ahead.
Well,
Sorry.
Go ahead.
This is just from today. Lorna Yearwood reached out to me today from Springfield Township and had a request for Springfield Elementary School to be used as a backup location, an alternate location, in the event that Springfield Township can't use their municipal building. They're looking for a location that has a backup generator, which Springfield Elementary School does. And that would be a location where they could move their emergency operations center if needed. So I was back and forth with Lorna today and just asked for a little bit more information as to what their specific needs would be, number of people. But if there's a reason that the Springfield Township needs to, you know, mobilize their emergency operations, we are very likely not going to have students or staff in the building as well. So I did say I'd bring it up at this meeting, but they'll put together an MOU. They have an arrangement like this, I think, with the Bucks County Intermediate Unit, one of their buildings. So I just said, just update it with Springfield Elementary School, and we'll be able to bring it back for your consideration. We're already a Red Cross shelter approved location at Springfield Elementary School, so I didn't see any problems or concerns. But
This is basically multi-purpose.
depending on what their needs are, maybe it's the main off, whatever their needs are. So if the Red Cross needed to come and use it as a shelter, then the multi-purpose room would be the one that would be used. If Springfield Township needed to come and use the main office just because they needed offices or whatever they need, we'd be able to provide that.
Quick clarification. We're in the process right now of updating our emergency management plan, which has not been done in 17 years. Part of the process, we are using an outside agency to do our emergency management operation. And this is one of the items that is on our hit list, that we need to have a secondary site if for some reason our building is taken out. The only thing that we see right now for an external disaster takes out will be a tornado or some type of interruption with gas disposal. Those two major concerns that we have.
We hope those never happen, but we're happy to welcome you
Yeah.
into Springfield Elementary School.
Tornadoes, Springfield may not be there either.
Yeah, they're pretty close together,
Yes.
but everything else was correct. I'm assuming that I share. Okay, great.
Great.
Okay.
Okay. So we move on to, next item is summer projects. I did put it in the, attachment on electronically, but I figured I'd print them out anyway. So,
Pass them all around.
we're good. Okay.
Thank you.
As you can see, the list is pretty long, both of outside contractors. There's gonna be a lot going on this summer. There's probably another, Pete, our new maintenance guy, has put together all the different schools, and Pete's here in the audience. Just anybody knows Pete? He's our new
Hi, Pete.
maintenance.
Hello.
uh, Maintenance crew chief for the district. So, like I say, a lot of these were work orders that couldn't be done during the school year. But we hope to knock this list down to a fraction of what it is. That's our goal. As we get some help. And on the other list is all the outside contractors. Obviously, the projects that are in place right now, treatment plant, second floor hallway, vestibule, tile abatement at Durham Knox, Palms Auditorium renovation, which is up in the air, Palms HVAC control replacement, Springfield rooftops, that's in place. They're made and they'll be done after July 1st. Durham Knox emergency generator and lighting, waiting for that project to get started. Everything's been signed off on. And then we have some concrete work, Durham Knox handicap ramp installation on the east end, sidewalk, Palm sidewalk replacement. We have a lot of the areas over there are cracked or crumbled. And first project that's going to get going right on June 10th is purple and gold gym roof replacement. That's also,
We've approved that?
Yep.
Cost and
we
everything?
actually approved it last year.
Okay, I was gonna say, I haven't put my.
And the summer they got too busy to be able to do it last summer,
So they're holding the price?
they're holding the price.
Good.
Yep. High school main entrance steps, again, deteriorating from, I believe, all the salt and
Cheap concrete.
cheap concrete. And the baseball field backstop. As soon as I get those quotes in, I'll take the lowest quote on that.
And all these
With the-
others you're doing in-house?
With the power outage, so,
Today,
yeah,
seems like years ago, but it was still.
yeah, it was only, my work was yesterday.
7:24 this morning, yeah.
Yeah. Did the generator at the high school work?
No.
Cause I got the reports that it didn't.
So here's where we're at on that. I just found out this afternoon. Generator was rebuilt. That part's working, but the voltage regulator, which kicks it on,
Mhm.
is being replaced. So I guess got a price today from emergency service.
Whatever.
Curtis.
Kurt.
I know. I was looking up emergency services. Wait, they changed their name. It's Curtis, but they're very good with the Cato Light, which went out of pretty much 10 years ago, 12 years ago. They were sold out, so it's very hard to find parts for. Hopefully we'll get that in and we'll be back up and running. So yeah, that was the first thing that hit me today was power went out and I saw those things dinging up on my phone. The UPSs.
So the truck, I think I put out in the communication, hit, sort of the defunct communication lines.
Defunct telephone lines.
Yeah, so once those hit, then they went up and hit the power
Lashed
line
the power
and
lines.
that'll
Like,
shut that
like
off.
the same thing
Okay.
happened last time.
was
It
gonna say,
did.
isn't this the second time?
Yeah, this
Same thing
happened
that happened last time.
almost at dismissal last time.
We were testing our
We-
problem solving at arrival this time.
Yeah, we did it at arrival instead of dismissal, but
Gary reached out to
Frontier.
Frontier.
Yeah.
To remove those lines.
Yeah. Hopefully they will.
I really don't know why they put them
They're
back
so low.
the way. Yeah,
too.
they're so low for any kind of truck traffic, but And they're not used anymore, Gary? Or-
They're old copper telephone lines, which
Okay.
Copper.
Frontier just
Copper.
installed fiber everywhere, yeah.
They're still
You should
functional.
take them down
They're
yourself.
they're not
Replaced
totally
everything.
up- Yeah, they're not totally up.
Well, those aren't functional anymore, so.
The ones
Yeah.
laying on the ground.
So we can get somebody's insurance company to pay for the new switch?
So base,
Chris?
Didn't it blow out the switch?
no, it didn't. Well,
Oh, yes, it did.
We can say it did.
Yeah,
I'm not going on the road for that one.
Jim
We're
will.
being recorded, so.
So there's that.
Yeah.
And there's that. Okay, so the last item I have here is the, next school year's, Building and Grounds Committee schedule. I'll also attach that, but if, you know, copies of it.
I don't need a copy. Do you need a
Okay.
copy?
If there are
It
any
was,
questions
it
on
was,
dates,
is it the same
It
as,
was
uh,
attached,
as what,
what I attached.
extracurricular and,
yeah,
Yeah.
extracurricular, so.
Take the paper and reuse it.
yeah.
Oh, I'll
And,
take.
oh, I
one.
didn't
Oh,
put the time
we
here. We're
got,
gonna
we
do
need
it-
one down
We're gonna do it
here.
at 6
I'll
o'clock.
take one.
We're gonna take over,
Yeah.
All right, yeah, I mean, we're all fine, no changes, right?
Make it work.
All right, anything else?
I have nothing else.
Anything else out there in the audience?
Could you, if you know what polls that it goes with, can you get me poll number? Can you take the snapshots of the poll numbers? And I'll have a conversation with the, outside plant manager.
Okay.
Because if they're truly dead, and this is the second time,
second
I
time.
can only imagine how many people were inconvenienced.
Yeah. First time was fiber. That was taken down, but it was dead fiber. I don't even know what it was used for. Or what
It seems like there's a lot of stuff hanging on these poles that
Yeah,
no longer in use. I have one in front of my house. It's just a great big coil.
Right.
yeah.
It's been there for like,
What's when they're
2-3
laying
years.
on the ground that you
Yeah.
really know.
and every
Yeah.
once in a while the zip ties break and it's laying on the ground. So they come back and they tie it all up and set it next to us. So,
All right, I think we're adjourned.
Meeting adjourned
Okay.
at
Yeah.
8:30. I think I have a minute.